he was actually smiling, and it was terrifying. And we couldn't figure out what was going on, and a couple weeks later, he came to school wearing a shirt, and it was all the way down to his knees, and it was just yellow. We were like, okay. And when he took his backpack off, it showed that the side of the shirt, way on far down, had 3 pink butterflies on it. I'm like, okay. Are they man-eating butterflies? Well, it was actually my friend Bogey that approached him first and figured out what it was, and it was actually, he started watching the show My Little Pony Friendship's Magic, and he got him involved. And him being my best friend, eventually at lunch, he was watching Finn, and I leaned over and I was like, who's it? Huh? And I saw the first episode, which was actually Applebuck season, and at that moment, it reeled me in.
Long story short, it had to do with derpy hooves.
Yes.
So my little brother, way back in the, well, he still is a hipster, but my brother is like this extreme flower child, a hipster who only listens to unedited Beatles music. And he was getting really into internet lead speak stuff, and I had no idea what he was saying. So I decided to sit down one day and find out what he was saying on Know Your Meme, and I got to derp, and I saw the pony. I saw derpy hooves, and I was like, well, this is a pony. And I was like, okay, so I've heard of this before, but I've never really gotten into it. And then I met my girlfriend, whose room is incredibly pony-fied.
It's a sanctuary.
It is a sanctuary. There's ponies everywhere. And the first episode that I managed to sit down and go, okay, I'm going to do this, and watch was Over a Barrel. And to this day, I'm surprised that pie can even cause that much collateral damage. Like the whole clock tower fell off. And they were fighting with pie. It was great. So yeah, that's my story. Derpy, girlfriend, awesome episode with pie and collateral damage.
That's how I began his sword.
I just had everyone around me started watching the show and putting ponies in their avatars, and I was like, what is this? It's like another internet meme or something. And then they kept saying, like, everyone kept coming to me and saying, you should watch it, you sound like the purple one. So I was like, maybe sometime. And then I watched a couple episodes for a voice audition for reference, and I got hooked and couldn't stop.
Hey. Wow.
I don't have a terribly interesting story. Basically, I just sort of saw a lot of fan art going around on DeviantArt and thought, that's odd, but okay. And then you all have those friends on Facebook who whatever they post, even if it's weird, you have no idea what it's about, you gotta watch it. And I had a friend who just kept posting ponies over and over and over. And well, if you posted it. And first episode I also saw was Applebuck season. And I watched it and thought, I'm not entirely sure what the hype is, but I can't stop. So 2 days straight watching pony. And that's what happened for me.
So yeah, during like the Stone Ages when Cold Spring was still a thing, that's basically a site where you can ask questions and someone replies, just random people. I asked someone a question, random person, and he replied to me with a pony video, and I clicked it, and it was hilarious. When the video stopped, it was just like a flood of pony videos, and I was like, what's going on? So I clicked through a few, saw a few YT PVs, some songs, and I was amazed, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch it, this is ridiculous. So I was at dinner talking to my dad, and I told him about Bronys, and he was like laughing, and I was like laughing too. And you know, I kept listening to the music and became really curious, and made a prank image of Pinkie Pie shrugging, and you know, just out of joking a bit. And it got attention, and surprisingly, I became more curious in watching the show, started watching the show, and watched the whole season 1 and part of season 2, which was out, in one sitting. And that was crazy, because I was watching all day. And I started involving in like community sites, like on Facebook, like Brony community sites, and I met Blake Silver right here. And well, I started live streaming, and the first time I live streamed, there was nobody, except one person. And it was Alex S. He was my first live stream viewer ever. And I was amazed. At that time, Tombstone wasn't big, for instance, and Alex S was the biggest. And the next day, I started live streaming again. And I wasn't watching my comment section. And I eventually tapped back, and I saw one person again. And it was, this time was not Alex S. It was the Living Tombstone. And we exchanged contact details, and he introduced me to so many people. And eventually, I started approaching people, and that was really how it started for me. I became bigger. I started enjoying it more, getting involved, and that's really how my whole story short. Really.
Okay, so I started on the Demon website of Newgrounds, and it all started with music. I found this guy named Cool Fox on Newgrounds. He had pretty interesting music, kind of electro-trance kind of music. I checked him out on YouTube, and I really liked his stuff, and he wasn't known at all. And so I talked with him on Skype. He was pretty cool. And I had no idea where he lived, and I rarely talked to him, but I still talked to him. And then all of a sudden, one day, he's like, I'm taking down my YouTube. And he's like, what? And he's like, no, I'm just changing it. I'm making a new YouTube. He's like, what is it? Oh, it's the Living Tombstone. And I was like, okay, well, that's weird. And he's like, yeah, you should go check it out. The first thing he posted was winter wrap-up thing. And I looked at that and I was like, ponies. Oh my God. Sorry, bro, I can't really talk to you anymore. See, have fun with that. About a month went by and I was at school and I saw someone sitting down watching My Little Pony. I was like, oh my God, what is this? So I went on the computer and I sat down and I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's watch some ponies. But I had to make sure no one was home. So it was like 1 in the morning. I was like, am I good? Am I good? Okay, I'm good. I'm watching ponies. So I got on and started watching ponies and I was like, oh my God, this is good. I like this. And so I blew through like 14 episodes, and it was like the morning. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I would go to work, and like, oh, I'm tired. It's like, what were you doing? I was watching My Little Pony. And so time passed on, and Tombstone introduced me to all of these people, and that's how I met PJ and a bunch of other people. And this is kind of sad, but as time grew on, the Tombstone became bigger and bigger. We kind of grew apart, but luckily I get to see him at Brony-Con, so that's good at least. But now I'm in it all, talking with people, bringing guests to my convention, so it's pretty great. So yeah.
We love you.
I was told by Jesus himself.
Bravo.
He said, you have to see the big pony and her parties. And the purple ones. It's nothing exciting. Like, actually, if anything, I want to hear your stories, because all of our stories are unique. We all